Hi friends, it's Tuesdays with Tonya. I'm Tonya here with My County Link, and it is another gorgeous day here in Darke County. Today is Tuesday, and it is voting day. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure that you get out there and exercise your right to vote. Which got me to thinking, wonder when, first started votings, all that kind of stuff. So I did a little research and so forth, and a lot of you probably know some of this information, but I always think it's cool to kind of delve in a little deeper and see if there's maybe some things that maybe people didn't know. So let me kind of look at my notes here, because you know how it is. Once you start researching, you just keep going and going and going, right? So I kind of had to stop myself and talk about today. So today we're talking about voting. So in Ohio, the first voting was in 1845, and then there was an amendment on February 3rd of 1870 for African American men to be able to vote. So you heard me right, no women yet, right? So along then comes who? Susan B. Anthony. So as a woman, I had to delve in a little bit more to her. So Susan B. Anthony devoted more than 50 years of her life to the cause of women suffrage. So let's talk a little bit about her. Now, she and her friend, Elizabeth Stanton, they did a lot of this together, but Susan B. Anthony was what you would call, she was the mover and the shaker of it, right? So let's talk a little bit more about her. Now, Susan B. Anthony in 1872, she illegally voted in Rochester, New York, and she was arrested, she was indicted, tried, and convicted for illegal voting. But this is what she said. She argued that she voted in common with hundreds of other Americans, citizens, her neighbors. It was a mockery to call her, she said it was a mockery to call my trial a trial by jury. Now, she never served any time, and she never paid her fine, and the authorities declined to take further action, okay? So she kind of brought it all into light, right? So then in 1878, Anthony and her friend, Elizabeth Stanton, that we talked about earlier, they arranged for Congress to be presented with an amendment giving women the right to vote. Now, she never saw it come all the way to fruition, because, let's see, here we went down to June 4th, 1919 is when it was ratified for women to vote, and then, June 4th, 1919 was when the amendment was put for women to vote, but then it was ratified and later became the Susan B. Anthony Amendment in 1920, which was August 18th, 1920, and she had died March 13th, 1906. So in 1878 is when she first was arranging to go for Congress to present with the amendment. That was 1878. She passed in 1906, and then in 1920 it became the Susan B. Anthony Amendment. And some of her last words before she passed was, "Failure is impossible." So make sure you get out and vote today. Stay with me, and we'll keep touring Darke County. Have a great day, everybody.